Film Festival. And we have just a few people who are going to come up and speak tonight, and I'll be introducing them each. But I want to start off and say a couple of things. And thank you for the silence. I really appreciate how quiet it is right now. I don't have to shout. You know, I was hired to be the executive director of the film festival because my background is in film. I come at it first and foremost as a film producer. And when I thought about taking the job, one of the main goals for me and things to consider was, will this film festival be excellent? Will it have the potential to be a Sundance or a Telluride or some of the other great film festivals across the country? Because I don't want to be a part of it if it's not. And there are a handful of people that helped convince me that yes, we can do this, and yes, it will be excellent. And we have 15 board members who all are part of the board for that same reason, because they will not waste their time unless it will be excellent. And they know that their talents are well used and appreciated and validated. So first of all, if there are board members here, would you please raise your hand? And everyone, let's just give them a round of applause. They have helped us not only function and stay going and supported me as an executive director, but they've helped us raise, as of today, $120,000 for our film festival. So we have 15,000 left to go to reach our goal for this year, so please keep that in mind. If you feel like writing us a large check today, we won't say no. But I want to also talk about 4 other reasons why we are as successful as we are and have the potential to be as successful as we can be. The first, which I always love leading with, because you look around and you'll see who I'm talking about everywhere in the walls and the atmosphere, and that's Robert Daniel and Glass and Gear. Robert Daniel is our board member. He also is one of our largest sponsors, and he's really a partner. He's responsible for everything that you see, all the lights, everything that you hear, everything that you don't even notice but contributes to the vibe of our events, and he legitimizes us. He comes from a background having done red carpet events at Sundance and big movie premieres. He comes from film production and a whole boatload of other things, and he's amazing, and he rolls out and helps create the spaces that are what Monadnock International Film Festival is. So we're indebted to him and Glass and Gear. They're based out of Manchester, and if you ever want to rent rent things for an event, a wedding, etc., a film shoot, he's the man to talk to. I also want to, he's not here tonight, but a thank you to Randall Hoyt. He's our new graphic designer who came on board and created this and our new branding, our new logo, our new image, everything. And he has been phenomenal to work with. He's a professor at Keene State College, new to the area, and we are completely indebted to him and in love with him. I also want to thank Consensus Technologies, Gerard and Pamela. If you're around here somewhere, raise your hands. Let's give them a round of applause. They are responsible for creating our website. And if you'll notice, this week we flipped over to all new branding, and they were so fast and so patient with us with throwing at them brand new stuff, only a year out. And if you take a look tomorrow and next week, they will be updating even more with all the film information you're going to hear about tonight. So we're completely indebted, and we would not function without them. They do all of their work completely in kind for us, and is unbelievable. If you ever would like a website built, please hire them, because they're unbelievable and so wonderful to work with. So again, thank you to them. And the last other reason that makes us so great is Local Look New Hampshire. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the Local Look Peterborough, Local Look New Hampshire project, but locallooknh.com is a website I ask you all to go home and check out. There is content created by people here from New Hampshire, videos on how to cook, or videos on how to do home things, or interviews, really thought-provoking pieces, all made here in New Hampshire and up on this website just for New Hampshire producers of content, from schools to businesses, nonprofits, you name it. And they have amazing work on there. Check it out. And they're one of our largest financial sponsors as well. We're completely indebted to them. Bill Smith back there, if you want to raise your hand, one of our board members. He helps coordinate Local Look New Hampshire with Comcast. And if you have any questions about it, please ask him. And so I want to tell you one really exciting kind of cool thing, and then I know we want to get to the more exciting things like who's coming here and what movies are coming here. But we're doing something special this year. It's called Local Look. It's sponsored by Local Look NH, and it's a pre-festival weekend in Peterborough and Jaffrey. Some of you may have heard a little bit about it, and I'm going to give you a small sense of what that's going to look like. Friday night, this is April 4th, we're going to have 2 screenings of the Peterborough Players, a shorts program and a feature. All the work that's featured is either made here in New Hampshire or made by New Hampshire people, has some very strong New Hampshire connection. So it's a way for us to celebrate us, which is great. The next day, on Saturday, April 5th, in the morning, we're going to feature a panel and a reading from our Screenwriting in the Schools program. If you're not familiar with what that is yet, it's very exciting. Our program director, Aaron Wiederspan, has been teaching 20 students in Peterborough and 20 students in Keene the art of screenwriting, and we're going to be able to feature yeah, right? We're going to be able to feature some of them. If there's any students here from that class right now, please raise your hand. I know there were a few. I don't know if they're still around. Yes? So we'll give them a round of applause. Be excited to see their work in the next couple of weeks. And then Sunday, something very exciting, Sunday, April 6th, in Jaffrey at the Park Theater, or where what once was the building of the Park Theater and is now a flat piece of foundation. We have been partnering with Caroline and the Park Theater, and they're not only tremendous sponsors of ours, but collaborators, and we're so excited to present an event. It's a tented event. It'll be early evening. We have 2 different tickets. You can come and go to an opening reception with us, have some complimentary wine and beer and appetizers, and then, or you can just come from the main event. We'll be doing a live music film screening. So you may be familiar with, you know, someone playing a little piano while a silent film plays. This is kind of that, but way better, way, way better. It's called Not So Silent Films, and there's a guy named Mike Hurwitz, a graduate from Berklee College of Music, film composer extraordinaire, and he's coming in and he's doing a 7-instrument one-man show while the film is playing. So there'll be 7 different things happening, all composing a beautiful score to the film Man with a Movie Camera. So we're really excited about that event. You can come just to the film for $15, or you can do the reception and the film for $25. And those are going to be on sale this week, or we can sell them at the back table today if you're interested. And so that's something we're super excited about. So now to speak a little bit more about our partners, we have another sponsor that we're very, very much indebted to, and I was waiting to mention this till now, not because it wasn't as grand as the others, but we've had a lovely time collaborating with Keene State College. They're so supportive. All their faculty in multiple departments, their students are our interns, they're volunteers. They've helped offer us spaces and financial support, and we're so, so grateful. And here to speak a bit about that is one of our board members, the Dean of Arts and Humanities, Andy Harris.
Thank you. It's completely intimidating being here, but it's really intimidating speaking after Lena. It has a certain energy about her. I don't know if that was felt by any of you. And it's interesting. I didn't know that Randall Hoyt made this video behind me. Randall Hoyt was one of the new faculty we hired last year, and one of the ways that I recruit faculty to come to the college is by touting the benefits of this community, And so it's a lovely completing of the circle that a member who's joined our community is now contributing to it already and helping to work for this festival. Lena stole some of my best lines, but I think that the college supports the festival for so many reasons. The students who get a chance to participate in the festival as volunteers, as interns, working in PR, and all the ways that they work with Lena and others are extraordinary. They come up and tell me that. And so I recruit students now too. When I see admitted students, I say, hey, come join our community. You can play a role. It's really exciting. This wonderful event. When I recruit faculty, I just recruited a faculty member into film, and she was surprised, I think, that something this wonderful, this special was happening here. And it's one of the reasons that she is choosing to make this community her home. When I was at the end of the opening night reception last year, one of my film faculty came up to me and said, Andy, isn't this wonderful? Isn't this wonderful? I said, what do you mean, John? What do you mean? What are you feeling there? He said, we're just fizzing, fizzing like an infant, just excited. And so, the power of film to make community. So, thank you for coming here. It's a privilege to support this. Thank you all.
Thank you, Andy. So I have one more person to introduce before the main event. We have another huge supporter and champion, both of our film festival and in my experience, my life as a filmmaker here in the state, not only with resources and the email support and everything you could possibly ask. I should say who it is before I keep gushing. It's the New Hampshire Film and Television Office is a fabulous part of our state and something that I'm very grateful for. And here to speak a little bit about it, we have the director of the New Hampshire Film and Television Office, Matthew Newton.
Thank you, everybody. All sorts of energetic faces. We should do ourselves an Oscar selfie and see if we can Twitter it out. My office, the Film and Television Office, actually resides under the Department of Cultural Resources. And I'd be remiss without sending best wishes from Commissioner Van McLeod. Really wanted to be here tonight. He wasn't able to make it here tonight, so he sends his best. The film festival, there's a number of festivals around the state, and we support them all. And I'll tell you a little secret, though. 17 years ago, I was a graduate from the film program at Keene State College. And whether it's this festival or not, coming back to Keene just recharges that battery. You know, gets those creative juices going again. And last year, when this festival was launched and gave another reason to come back to Keene and get energized about film again, this was the best thing in the world. So I love this festival. I love what it does for the community. And I want you to look around the rooms and you see these banners that say movies matter. And I tell you what, movies matter in New Hampshire. They should matter in New Hampshire. Movies matter to our creative atmosphere here. We have filmmakers in this room who work together on a regular basis. I'm sorry, Bob. That was doing a little kaleidoscope. That's crazy.
It's projection. You probably wouldn't get it.
That's fantastic. All these filmmakers here working together. We're friends. It always feels like a homecoming, coming to these things. So it contributes to that. And it also creates, it's our creative economy. It's our communities. Movies matter to jobs. Movies matter to education. Movies matter to keeping our youth here in this state. And so my office is trying to do whatever we can to bring more of that here, working with filmmakers, partnering with film festivals like this. And it's such a pleasure to be a part of this every year. So I want to thank Elena, Aaron, the board, sponsors, friends of all of this for working so hard to bring this festival here. So enjoy. Thank you very much.
It was like right in between. So 3 things that I'm going to say quickly before we get to what you're all here for. Number 1 is we are still looking for volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer for the film festival, it's a wonderful experience. You get a t-shirt, you get passes, exciting things. We are looking this year for volunteers who can really commit to a large chunk of time for the festival. Doesn't mean you'll be working the whole time, but we decided rather than, last year we had 100 volunteers, which was phenomenal. We couldn't believe the support from the community. And there was a lot of people coming and going in and out. So we decided, and it was fabulous. But this year we want to hone it in. We want to try to focus on having only 50 volunteers who are putting in more time than last year so that every volunteer feels really confident with the systems and feels really part of the team. And then we can reward those volunteers even more than we were able to last year because there's less. So if you'd like to volunteer, please come speak to me, or Russell is going to be at the back at our table and you can give him your information or online. The next thing is we had to do something exciting this year. Because there was a demand for it, we had to create a membership program. It was something we had always thought we'll do next year, but we started having individuals contributing large amounts of money, which is great, and they're not corporate sponsors, so we had to create our membership program. It's very, very exciting, and if you're interested in becoming a member, again, please come see me after this or send me an email. Memberships start anywhere from as low as $250 and go up, it goes up to $5,000. You could do either of those, or the 5,000 option, and you get all sorts of special access and that kind of thing. But it's really, more than anything, it's about helping believe in us and contribute to us and help us stay going, because raising all that money is a lot of work every year. So the third thing that I wanted to talk about is at the back, where Russell is. Raise your hand, Russell. And actually, while I'm on the subject, any MONIFF committee members, please raise your hand as well. We have quite a few in this room. Scotty, raise your hand back there. We are indebted to you, and they put in so much time and energy. So let's do a little round of applause for them really quickly. Committee members are kind of my favorite. Don't tell the board members that. But they come in with all this enthusiasm, and they don't have to do with all, boards can be tedious. You have to sit through the meetings, and it's a lot of work for our board members. The committee members get to skip all that and get to just come with input and come with energy, so they're way more excited a lot of times, and it's great. We're able to really get a lot of stuff done, which is fabulous. So Russell's in the back, and if you would like to buy a film or a VIP pass tonight, you can do that with him. We accept credit cards. We're very official and technologically advanced this year. If you purchase a pass of any kind, you'll get a free bumper sticker. We have new bumper stickers that we're very proud of as well. So please take advantage of that. Check that out. And I'm not going to say anything else after the next person I'm introducing, because after that, who cares? You'll be all glowing with the news of what's coming here. You've been so very patient, and I'm excited to present something that's also new this year for us. MONIFF hired a program director. Last year, this board member, founding board member, programmed our entire film festival out of the kindness and generosity of his heart. And we were afraid we were going to lose him, so we decided to lock it in and hire him this year as an official program director, which is a crucial element to any successful or any film festival in general. We are very, very fortunate to get the New Hampshire Filmmaker of the Year, as he was awarded this year. Please welcome Aaron Wiedersmann.
Thank you. So we have movies coming tonight. I want to thank you all for coming here. The hope is that A, you're enjoying yourself, B, that you feel a connection and a passion to something that we believe in with all of our heart, will continue to raise this community to an extraordinary level, and that will connect us and draw us together for the reason that we're passionate about movies. Movies are our modern campfire. This is where we tell stories, right? This is where we gather together and we listen to these tales being told of who we've been, who we are, and who we can become. That's why movies matter. And movies are our lives. It's the reason that I just wake up every morning enthused, because I love these stories. So thank you for being here, and hope that at the end of the night you'll spread the word that Monadnock International Film Festival is something that you will not want to miss. So before I get into an announcement about a few things that you might want to hear, something that's very important that you hear is that there's a selection committee, and a group of folks that I want to thank extraordinarily, and I think there's a few of them here. I think the majority of them, except for one of them who's on an anniversary in South Beach in Miami, and sent a message this morning. I still got a pina colada in my hand, and I'm in Miami, so he sends his best. But Robert Daniel, Lisa Neville, Bob Lawson, Brandon Bedard, I think I saw out here. I want you to give a round of applause for these people who have been great, and more than anything, they have really comforted me and consoled me, because they're a great group of people, and if you knew how difficult it is to convince the world that Keene, New Hampshire and Monadnock International Film Festival matters, because they were great shoulders for me to lean on in those sleepless nights. So please thank all of them, and they're fantastic. And also, I would like to thank, because she will not thank herself, but there should be a rousing round of applause for the force and the whirlwind and the maniacal, maddening wonder that this young lady is, who last night I was at an event, which she couldn't do this because then it would be boasting and they'd be like, wow, isn't she full of herself? But I can boast about her. Last night, Lena Barakat, our executive director, was awarded a Trendsetter Award in our region, in which last night Governor Maggie Hassan was there, our Mayor Kendall Lane from here, the president of Keene State College, president of the Keene State, and she is one of our 20 movers and shakers in this region, and believe me, she doesn't sleep, because I know when I get emails at 4 o'clock in the morning, of course I'm telling her I sleep because I got a 5- and 7-year-old, why are you sending me an email now? But she's tireless in her effort, and so everyone please give a warm welcome to her. All right, so,
the movies.
So I have a piece of paper here, and I write these things. I'm old school. Being a writer, I still like pen and paper. But as Lena mentioned before, there are a couple things that I'm very, very excited about. One of those is our local look component. She mentioned already, and it's been fantastic. We knew as a film festival to have substance, to have reach, to have longevity, that it is important to have an educational component. And I've been very, very fortunate to work with students at Conval High School, 20 students out there for an 18-week program, teaching them the foundations and fundamentals of screenwriting. Because as we know in the modern world, everyone has a camera, everyone's posting their videos to YouTube, to Vimeo, et cetera, et cetera. But the foundations, where does it begin? It begins with the story. And so to be able to engage these students in story has been amazing. And Keene High School has come on for a 9-week curriculum. And it's awesome to have a couple of the students here from there. And that's really been awesome. And that we get to feature them. And that there will be a few select readings and an award grant given to one of those students as we do our Local Look weekend. It's wonderful. But not only that, to have the Local Look shorts. So we will have a program of 6 shorts that will play in that preceding weekend, but not only that, they'll not only play in Peterborough, but the Local Look shorts, the Local Look program, and one feature documentary will be playing at the Putnam Theater at Keene State College as well. And all of these shorts and features, they have a New Hampshire connection. And we feel it's very important to support what's going on here, what comes from here, and to connect it somehow. And the featured documentary, because there are 6 documentaries that will be featured, is actually a documentary called Fred, which if anyone knew, it's actually a documentary about Fred Carter, who started here, but Fred Carter was the first openly gay presidential candidate in the U.S. And this is a documentary that's released, and this is actually the premiere of it in the region. It'll play in Peterborough and here, and so we're very, very happy to be having that as a part of our Local Look program. On top of that, last year, one thing that people mentioned was it'd be nice to have something family-oriented. So we racked our brains because we've got a small slate of films, limited windows. So we thought, well, let's do something. So we're going to be programming and partnering. We've begun partnering already with elementary schools around the area. We thought, well, why not? How many of these kids have seen classic, some classic family movie on the big screen? So we have Pete's Dragon coming this year, a 35mm print of Pete's Dragon, partnering with elementary schools, but it is also open to the public, family, friends, people come together, experience Pete's Dragon on the big screen. All right. So, next, to our shorts program. So we have a shorts program again this year. Last year it was a fantastic success. And we are very, very excited to have a diverse slate of films, as we have 9 short films programmed this year. One of the things that we're very excited, as I will not go through each and every name of all those films, but we have 3 animated pieces, for instance, and we have 3 pieces that are international. As we have a short film coming from Kosovo, we have a short film coming from filmmakers in Spain who went to Somalia, the film. We have a short film coming from Austria, Germany. And in the midst of all this, to give you an indication of our shorts program, we have a historical motion capture animated piece entitled The Wheat Field about Gettysburg, in which the main character is portrayed by the fantastic actor Stephen Lang, who you may most know from Avatar as Colonel Miles Quaritch, or you may recognize him as Stonewall Jackson from Gods and Generals, or you may recognize him as Charles Winstead from Public Enemies, etc. Or maybe you were around in the theater scene and saw him on Broadway when he starred opposite Dustin Hoffman in Death of a Salesman, or when he was nominated for the Tony in Speed of Darkness. And Stephen Lang is actually joining us this year, even just to be a part of our shorts program, to give you an indication of that. And we're working with the filmmakers from Spain that are coming, and working with the Ministry of Culture in Kosovo as well. So it's going to be a fantastic event. So, next, we have a couple panels that will be happening as well. We are, because we would be remiss in the film industry if we didn't leave some sort of teaser, not going to announce everything that's coming from the panels, but one specific panel that we will be having is Women in the Film Industry panel this year. And we will be having special guests such as Anna Culp, who is the Senior Vice President for Imagine Entertainment, Ron Howard and Brian Grazer's company. Ronnie Yeskel, who's the casting director of such films as Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, won SAG Awards last year for The Sessions, starring John Hawkes and Helen Hunt. Ronnie Yeskel will be here. Screenwriter Claire Serra, who's worked a part of many studio projects and most recently has written the new Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore film, Blended, which is scheduled to be released in May, and other special guests to be announced with that. And another panel as well that we will roll out and let you know throughout the next week or two. Right, so to the feature film slate. We're very, very thrilled to have a wide diverse of films, and so I will begin simply going through these. We have the feature documentary Bel Borba Aqui from Brazil, directed by Bert Sun, and it follows the Brazilian street artist Borba, who is known as the People's Picasso. We have the feature film Please Be Normal, which is directed by Heike Kacharian, starring Louis Kachelmi, Elizabeth Waterston, Dana Eskelson, and the inimitable Sam Waterston. We have Sarah Prefers to Run, or in its proper language, Sarah Prefere la Course, forgive my French. From Canada, which premiered at Cannes, went to Toronto, and is listed as one of the top Canadian films of the year. We have the East Coast premiere coming straight off of its Sundance premiere and its Rotterdam International premiere, War Story, directed by Mark Jackson, written by Kristen Gore, daughter of Alan Tipper Gore, starring Catherine Keener and Ben Kingsley. We have the winner of Sundance 2014 Grand Jury Prize for Best U.S. Documentary, Rich Hill. We have the East Coast premiere, the winner of the 2014 Sundance Film Festival Grand Jury Prize from Chile, one of the best world cinema dramatic, To Kill a Man. And we have two other final special features. Our Jonathan Daniels Award-winning film. For those of you who have not experienced before, last year, we created an award called the Jonathan Daniels Award, which is given to a film and a filmmaker that has a social consciousness and artistic merit fused that upholds the spirit of Jonathan Daniels. Jonathan Daniels was a hero in our region who heard the call of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., went down to Selma, Alabama, gave his life for a young African-American woman, Ruby Sales. So we decided to create an award. Last year it was Ken Burns in the Central Park 5, and an extraordinary event not to be missed. This year, we will be honoring Edith Bellsberg, Academy Award nominated documentarian for her documentary Children Underground. But this year she's created a film called Watchers of the Sky, which just premiered at Sundance, which director Edith Bellsberg will be present with us, as will producer Amelia Green Dove. And the film is a story of genocide and the history of it. And it goes into World War II, Armenia. It goes into Bosnia, Serbia. It goes into Rwanda. And it follows Samantha Power, our U.S. ambassador to the UN. It follows Emmanuel Uru Rukundo, a Rwandan survivor and a overseer now of the 3 largest refugee camps in Darfur. It follows Ben Ferencz, the chief prosecutor at the Nuremberg trials. And it follows Luis Moreno Ocampo, who's the lead prosecutor for the International Criminal Court. Mr. Luis Moreno Ocampo will be joining us this year as we award the filmmakers. Him as well. Luis Moreno Ocampo recently won a case with the International Criminal Court for the arrest of Sudanese President al-Bashir, the first time in the history that a warrant for the arrest of a head of state has been issued. He is listed as one of the 100 leading global thinkers in our world, and he'll be joining us as well. And then lastly, our opening night film. In 2012, a filmmaker, former rock musician, Sean Christensen, set out to make a short film entitled Curfew. Last year, the film won the Academy Award for Best Live Action Short. This year, that short has been turned into a feature film entitled Before I Disappear. It hasn't played yet, as it premieres in competition in 3 days at the South by Southwest Film Festival, starring Sean Christensen himself, Fatima Taychek, Emmy Rossum, Shameless, Phantom of the Opera, Ron Perlman, Paul Wesley, Vampire Diaries. And that will be our opening night film. And that, in a nutshell, are our films for this year.
Thank you, Aaron. The selection committee worked so hard, and Aaron is not joking about the sleepless nights, trying to pull that all together for us because they really believed passionately that Keene was worth these people's visit on their tour. And it's, unfortunately, we all believe in Keene and Monadnock region, but we have to convince that to the world still. So I want you all to have a wonderful night. I want to say thank you to the amazing food that you're eating. High Tea Caterers, Maureen Mativier, raise your hand. Ladies, raise your hand. If you ever want an event catered, a wedding, a party, anything, they're unbelievable. They work mainly in Boston, they go to New York, they're hired for lots of huge, huge events, but we're lucky to have them for a little bit of magic here in Keene. So thank you to them, as always, making us look and taste amazing. And then lastly, one of our sponsors, Colwyn Hotels, which is the Courtyard Marriott, the Lane Hotel, and the Holiday Inn Express. I don't know if Michelle is still in the room or any of the hotel people they can raise. Yes. Well, we've got one person back there at the bar. Michelle and Heidi and Tara, Alex, they're all so supportive and amazing. And they help us put up all of our guest celebrities at their hotels. If you want to come and stay during the film festival, even if you don't live far, if you get a VIP pass and you want to stay late and have a few drinks, stay at the hotel. It's in walking distance. It's great. And they'll be happy to book some rooms now for you if you're interested. Have a lovely drive home. Thank you for giving us your Friday night. And don't forget to pick up your passes. See you all in April.